So I just watched the press conference introductory, the first Rolly Romero versus Gervonta Tank Davis. I want to give some of my thoughts on the press conference. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, the best in the business. So this was, for starters, a great press conference. I think both guys played into what was expected. They both really did what they have in the past. Rolly, they even announced him on this press conference and said he's the troll king. So he tries to get under his opponent's skin, gags, taunts, parodies, anything he can do in the terms of skullduggery to get the edge. Gervonta Davis, his approach was, he was talking that talk, he was talking spicy, he was talking gangster, but he was a lot more mooted and a little bit more calm, collected, and he was just saying, this man's a clown. They keep talking about power. How they going to defeat me just talking about power? They're not working on anything about skills. They just keep talking about the man's power, and we ready for whatever, December 5th. Now, some people I did an Instagram live, some people on the live, they were saying that they felt Rolly Romero had nervous energy. So let me know in the comment section if you agree with that or disagree. Me, I probably have to watch it again because I was hosting and making sure all my audio levels is right and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different, but I did watch it, and I don't know. To be honest, Rolly, this is his first time, and he even acknowledges this is his first time on pay-per-view. He knows all the cameras. It's different. Rolly, he taps in with his fans and haters and goes on IG Live and things like that, but this is the big one. Tank is a big name. The Mayweather Promotions, PBC, Showtime, they've done an excellent job of molding and grooming Tank for the stardom, and this was the big show. So when Rolly did get up to the mic, it took a minute for him to almost get warmed up. He didn't have a bunch of stuff to really say, and then when Tank said something back to him, I noticed Rolly kind of threw some insults, but he did seem a little bit starstruck. But I can't really read too far into that, because at the end of the day, these two are power punchers, these two are fighters. And even if you have jitters or you've never been here before, when you get to these levels and you're in a fight, it's a fight. So it's either sink or swim, and you're gonna have to figure it out real quick. These guys are both amazing punchers. They did have Floyd Mayweather speak, Steven Espinoza, and Leonard Ellerby of Mayweather Promotions. And I think one of the commonalities, no matter who was at the podium, even the teams, Tank's team and Rolly's team, I think it was understood from all parties promoting the fight that this one will not go 12 rounds. This would be hard pressed. But boxing is weird. Ruslan Provodnikov, Lucas Matisse, I thought that was a fight at the time that somebody was going to get slept, and then it went 12. But this one, I think, with the animosity and the styles of the two fighters, I definitely don't see it going 12 rounds if I had to make an early bet and prediction. So we'll see how it plays out. I do want to give credit to Mayweather Promotions as well. On top of this being a mandatory that Tank has a chance to take care of, it's two of their fighters who are undefeated, and they could really prolong their careers by not putting them in with major punchers such as each other. So Mayweather Promotions is deserving of a lot of credit, because they're pitching their own two knockout artists against each other when they could clearly continue grooming Tank and have him fight whatever fight. And then the same thing with Rolly. We know mandatories is not the end all be all. There's a lot of fighters, when they have tough mandatories like Canelo and Jamal Charlo, somehow, some way that fight hasn't happened to this day, So we know there's ways out of mandatories. People pull strings or make a call or whatever they got to do. So credit to Mayweather Promotions for making this particular fight, because it's two undefeated punchers on the same roster. For whatever reason, they don't really seem to have love for each other. And, they're risking it all by fighting each other, because somebody most likely will be knocked out, and they could, in the end, hurt each other. So Leonard Ellerby, he compared this. He said this could be a lot of punches thrown, Hagler-Hearn style, and I think everyone agreed. I think Tank, in terms of a press conference, Tank's team, they were the wittier and more the silent killers. Rolly and his team, they said a couple things. Rolly's trainer said they're not worried about just pure boxing and technique. He has a mesh of street fighting, karate, mixed with boxing, something to that effect. And, you know, it was good. I think they did a great job of selling the fight. We'll put it that way. The bad blood seemed real. Rolly got into his villain role, came out with the fur. It's just a moment that people were talking about. People were talking about this fight for sure. Tank was smooth with it on the mic. I'm actually impressed with Tank's maturity on the mic. I feel like he's grown. He's grown, and he's becoming better and better on the mic, as opposed to when he first came out. He seemed almost shy, and then when he get in the ring, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's this beast, but he seemed very comfortable. He said, "Rolly, look at your shoes. You a clown. I come from the streets." And Leonard said, "This is beef. This ain't beef. If this was beef, you would have been smoked. You know, if we on some street stuff." And he said, "Rolly don't want it." Rolly retaliated in this presser, saying that I got text to prove that we were supposed to spar at Mayweather's gym, and you didn't show up 2 times. So, good bad blood type of Oscar De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas type of fight, where the two don't seem to like each other. I don't know if they were ever cool, but Tank made a statement and a quotable that I really like. He says, when you in the trenches, I'm just gonna paraphrase. He said something like, when you're in the trenches and you letting the slugs fly, you letting bullets fly, that's one thing. But what you gonna do when them bullets start coming back at you? The face-off, I was impressed that they even did a face-off. They allowed him to get close. It was a pretty intense and lengthy, heated face-off. So that was good to see, especially in this pandemic. They've been doing like these distance face-offs, and if there's bad blood between the two fighters, a lot of people, you know, sometimes they don't even want them to get close because they don't want it to escalate. But they both conducted themselves at the face-off like professionals and just kept it to the talking. Nobody pushed or hit each other. No Caleb Plant, Canelo, slap boxing, none of that. So all in all, I think this was a good look. This was a W in terms of selling the fight, got people talking and interested, which is what you want. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be talking about this fight and other fights. Stick around and check some of the other videos. I'm the greatest in boxing talk. So subscribe to the channel, like the video.